Hello, I am John Wilson. Welcome to another Guild of Legends podcast on YouTube. Tonight we'll be talking about a ruling that I had come up in my D&D campaign. How does long rest and short rest work? Well, how the book reads it, and I will read it from the book for you guys to understand and everything. But stay tuned to after I get done. I got great messages for you. Um, you guys going to be excited to hear what happened and excited to hear what the future's going to be bringing. You see, I got two shirts hanging up behind me. One is my own personal shirt, and the other one I will sell out for $20. The personal one will be a little bit more because that is my very own deal, and the other one is the other one that I have to use for other people for different things. I do have the deal, but it won't be as nice as that one. But besides that, I will get to this reading of short rest and long rest. So if you guys want to see anything, please let me know. Okay, resting. Historically, they might be adventurers can spend every hour of the day in the thick of exploring social interactions and combat. They need to rest, time to sleep, eat, tend to their wounds, refresh their minds and spirits for spell casting and bracing themselves for future adventure. Adventurers, as well as other creatures, can take a short rest in the middle of the day or a long rest at the end of the day. So we all know what resting means. Well, a short rest is a period of downtime at least 1 hour long, during which a character does not does nothing more than serves their eating, drinking, reading, and tending to wounds. A character can spend over one or more hit dice at the end of a short rest, up to the character's maximum number of hit dice, which is equal to the character's level for each hit dice spent this way. The player roll the dice and adds the character constitution modifier to it. They the character regains hit points equal to the total number equal to the total maximum of 0. The player can decide to spend additional hit dice after each roll. A character regains some spent hit dice upon finishing a long rest or as explained below. So what that's telling me is if you're a wizard and you're running out of your spells, wizards, warlocks, whatever, clerics, whatever you guys want, you could go, hey, I'm doing a short rest right now. I need to get my spells back. So you roll a hit dice. For that much of your hit dice per level, you get your hit points back and your spells. That's what I'm understanding on the short rest. Long rest, I have read it and it sounds the same thing. But I want you guys to make your own decisions on this. How I rule it, and this is just me being a DM, ruling it the way I see fit. You take a short rest, you get half of your spells back, what you use, and half of your hit points. Problem solved, right? So there ain't no rolling extra dice to do something. That is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard in 5th Ed so far. So On the long rest, we're fixing to get to it. But the short rest, that's how I rule it. Other DMs are going to follow the book. So if you play under somebody else, you need to ask them how do they DM, because the DMing will matter to how you can play your character to the way you want it. Some are going to be the rule warriors who's going to run it right by the book. So you guys will have a problem there. Some DMs will make you take the numbers out of the book and apply it that way. So there's different ways of doing this. As a player and a DM, I can run it either way. I can build a character with what they give me out of the book as the basic stats, and I can build a character. Okay? Then you could go from there. There's another way that I'm trying to learn how to build a character by spending so many points. You get so many points and you spin it. So if you want 9 points, it takes like 8 or 7 or something like that. I don't know exactly, but that's in my next one next week. We'll be talking about that. But I'm going to read from the long rest and I'm going to explain what it means to me, how I rule it. So here we go. Long rest. Long rest is a period of extra downtime, at least 8 hours long, during which a character sleeps for at least 6 hours and perform no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, or standing watch. If the rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells, or similar adventure activity, the excuse me, the character must begin the rest again to get any benefits from it. At the end of the long rest, the character regains all its lost hit points. The character also regains spent hit dice up to the number of dice equal to the character's total level, number of them, minimum of 1 dice. For example, if a character has 8 hit dice, he or she can regain 4 spent hit dice upon finishing long rest. A character can benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period, and a character must have at least 1 hit point at the start of the rest to gain the benefits. So, what that's saying is right there is, hold on, I'm getting a drink. What that is telling me is, as a DM, if I throw a creature at you and you're laying down for 2 hours and it's your next turn to go on watch after you have that encounter, you don't benefit from a long rest. You have to sleep for 6 hours. As a DM, if I want to rule it that way, if you go and lay down on a long rest, you get all your hit points back, all your spells, all your dice is back, whatever you need to do to make the adventure fun for you. So, here's what it says to me. As a DM, I need to follow this book by its core. Sorry, I don't. I won't. Not for fun for me as a DM to watch my players try to follow every freaking rule in this book. Not going to happen. Won't happen. Arguments breaks out all the time. House rules. That's why you got to walk up to a DM and ask them how are they going to rule certain things. I'm going maybe start using some fatigue on people, but not in this session. I will do it later on. So if you guys are seeing me working on a campaign while I'm a character as a player, that just means I'm working on my next campaign. Okay. With me has said that, do you guys have any questions who's online right now? Please ask me. It won't tell me who's on, but I got one watching. If you're on, please message me. Let me know. Hi, George. Do you have any questions on this? Please message me. I mean, I am trying to make this as easy as I can for everybody. I have sent. The long rest seems good way to do it. Yes, it does, but sometimes you need to do a short rest to spend to get certain spells back and some hit points back to progress the adventure. Yes, the long rest is the way to go, but sometimes you can't do a long rest really quick. So, yes, the long rest will go the way it needs to go, and a short rest is where if you've been fighting a lot, you could do a little bit of spell catching up, getting your best spells back. Any other questions? Short rest keep the adventure going longer. Yes, it does. It actually does, guys. I will admit that. But yes, it does keep the adventure going longer. How it is set up. So if you guys want to, yes, it helps with the adventure making it go longer, and it sees how the party is playing too. If they're using a lot of their OP spells right off the bat, I know how to run the campaign to keep the best players in check. So does that make sense? Like you on your ranger, George. Hunter's mark, then that's a bonus. That's one action. Then you could go into entanglement or hails of thorns or whatever. So boom, boom, you're already casting 2 spells that will help you out in the long run. So at a short rest, you could gain the Hails of Thorns back or Entanglement or whatever you just cast at a short rest, you gain it back. As a cleric, if he does a lot of healing, yeah, he gets all his healing spells back. Warlocks or whatever will be running quicker. So this is where you guys need to be at, where you're thinking about your spells. I don't know if I'm going to play the fighter in Ethan's campaign or I'm going to build a 3rd level wizard. So I haven't decided yet on that, but here we go. I'm going to step out of a comfort zone anyway. If you guys want to play with Ethan in his campaign, you guys need to make a 3rd level character. Then bring it. So that's all the questions on the short rest and long rest. I will talk about what happened last night. Okay, last night they fought 3 of my NPCs. They fought some more Death Knights. And at that point, I went ahead and leveled them up to level 20. Jason, Ogre, Bobby, Megan, Ryan, and Andrew need to get a hold of me somehow, some way this week to get your characters up to level 20. There's a lot more shit I need you guys to come over where I could give to you for your character. This is not going to be, oh, I'll wait till I get there on Saturday. No, you don't show up before Saturday, you don't get the stuff. Period. If you're not going to make it, please message me. One week I had 10 people. Last night I had 3. So you guys need to message me if you're not going to be there. Because if you don't show up, you don't get shit. This is the last time I'm going to say it. Whenever you want help on your characters, come on over. I will help you with it. But the instant death I haven't found yet. I'm going to try to find it right now and I'm going to talk about it. I think it's on page 197. I think. Or something like that. Attack rolls. Critical hits, healing. No, this is cover, critical hit, damage. Okay, instant death. So let's just talk about some of the instant death deal, how they do it. When you drop to 0 hit point, you either die outright or you fall unconscious, as explained in the following section. Instant death. Maximum damage can kill you instantly when the damage reduces you to 0 hit points, and therefore is the damage remaining. You die from the remaining damage equal to the or exceeding your hit points maximum. So I've been doing that right. For example, a cleric with a maximum hit points of 12 hit points currently had 6 left. She takes 18 from the attack. She is reduced to 0 hit points, but 12 damage remain. Because of the remaining damage is equal to her hit points, maximum, the cleric dies. Wow. That is. I will implement that ruling next time. I won't do it now. So if I do 275 points to you and you take, and you're only at 100, and I take 100 points from you, the remaining will instant kill you regardless. Falling unconscious. If damage is reduced to 0 hit points and fails to kill you, you will fall unconscious. Yeah, I see it up there. See a ping say this unconscious end if you regain any hit points. Dungeon matches this one. Okay, death saving throws. We know what that is. If you roll a 1, it's 2 fails. If you roll a natural 20, okay, so you roll a d20 on a that gains you 1 hit point. So a natural 20 will stand you back up. Damage at if you take any damage while you're at 0, you'll suffer death saving throws future saving throw. If the damage is from a critical hit, you suffer 2 fails instead. If the damage equal or exceeds your maximum hit point, you suffer instant death. So there you go. So 197 is the instant death or dropping to 0 deal. So you guys need to realize when I start playing again as a DM, I'm going to implement this. So if I do more damage to you and you suck up so much, you will die. Problem solved. That's what the book says. But I don't like it. I have one guy in the group who wants to run by the book, so I will run by the book on that. Well, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Sorry, it's just a short one. Next week, let me know if you're going to be there. The people I called out on. I got stuff to give you guys, and you got to level your character up to level 20. So there you guys go. Enjoy. Good night.